I know that I didn't show it being done, but I went over the front of the cowlings one more time, and I was noticing that the black wasn't completely covering the first time. Well, now it's covered. Now I'm also noticing that there's a little bit of shininess going on, almost like I'd used a different paint or something, but I didn't. I used the same paint, and I've got sort of a almost a glossy appearance. Anyway, here's aircraft number one, here's aircraft number two, and here's number one before and after, and number two before and after. I think they look a lot better. Now you'll remember hearing me complaining about the flashing here. Just want to see if I can't scrape that off. Maybe I should angle things just a little bit differently here. Now maybe if I use the blade on my homemade photo etch nipper here, it's fairly sharp. I can use that to sort of scrape. I would use the sanding stick, except that I'm afraid if I put too much pressure on while I'm sanding, I could accidentally break one of these blades off. Right after I shot that last scene, I did take my fine sanding stick and try and get some of the micro burrs off. I don't know if I improved on it or not. I was holding my breath while I did it. I think we're at the place now where we have to paint the blades, and I have to decide, am I going to do the black or am I going to put a drop of black in with the green and try and just darken the... I think maybe what I'll do is I'm going to put a drop of black in the green. I'm using a used pipette here. One of the viewers reminded me, why don't you use a little plastic dish to sample your paint from? And I'm thinking, yeah, why not? I've shaken these 2 jars out about 10 minutes ago. Okay, so we got our green. I'm just going to use one of Jim's Q-tips here to sample the black. I don't think we need a whole lot of black. Now that's noticeably darker, that's for sure. Okay, now before this paint dries out on me, let's see if I can't get the macro lens on so we can see what I'm doing here. Now I know it looks like I didn't clean the brush, but actually I did. It's just that green dye just wouldn't come out of there. I worked at it pretty good to try and get it cleaned out. Now I think it was Jason had suggested that I use both hands to hold onto the brush. Well, that's basically what I usually do. See if I can get my angle a little different here. I'm just going to do the back first. don't want to have to do 2 coats if I don't have to. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swing everything around, and then I'll get that blade. I'm to your right, as you probably already guessed, but I can't really get that. Well, maybe I can. Just hang on a second here. Reposition myself very carefully and not bump anything. It's kind of hard to use both hands here now. Now, a lot of this blade is going to be up against the engine anyway. It's only the back part of it, the tips of the blade are going to be seen. Okay, let's. Is there a little spot in here I missed? Mind you, no one's going to see in here anyways. Like I say, it's going to be right up against the engine, so. Alright. Now, if I carefully turn this thing over, I should be able to paint the front. About 5 minutes has passed here, so I did sort of clean my little brush out in some isopropyl. Trying not to get this darker green on the hub. Wonder, maybe I should have had more black. Oops. I think I'm probably going to have to give this 2 coats here. At least the front of the blades will give 2 coats. That one came out pretty good, I think. Okay, we'll just let that one dry and then we'll give it another coat. Now let's get the second one in place here. Now maybe on this one I'll do the hardest side first. I can't really see the hub. Mind you, again, this is on the inside. Okay, I'll turn it over and do the front. Okay, again, I've sort of semi-cleaned out my brush. Okay, let's let those dry now. And then I'm going to give them a second coat. Probably won't do the second coat on camera, but we will take a nice close look afterwards. Now I've added a little bit more black here. It might look black to you, but it's actually just an extremely dark green. And that's what I'm going to be using for the second coat. Now I realized that I had said I wasn't going to show it, but this is the last of the 6 sides for the second coat. And as you can see, I'm using what I might say is my favorite brush. And I did all the other blades exactly the same way. So yeah, we'll just let that dry now. Don't know if you can notice it, but this one right here is still, it's not dry yet. So as I said before, we'll take a close look once it's all dry. Okay, I had cleaned out my brush here, and I was headed off for the computer, and I was going to edit out these last few scenes. And then I realized I'd forgotten about this one here. Now, I put 2 drops of Tamiya thinner in. I hope maybe that's not too much. Oh my, this is not going to work. I'm going to have to, wonder if I should just leave this alone. Well, this will darken it slightly. And I'm going to have to turn it to get the other blade. Anyway, you get the idea. Now you'll notice the spinner on this one. When I was painting the black, I got black on the front of the spinner. I'm going to have to touch that up with the natural green here. Okay, as long as I've got this plane clipped in place here, now might be the time to try and touch this up. It's only going to be seen on the top. I know you probably can't see it, but just in behind there, okay, let's let that dry and see what happens. Looks a lot better to me already. Now the paint job on the spinners is a little better on one side than the other, and don't know if this is going to fit in the shaft hole anymore. Yeah, it did. Okay, so I want to turn the prop so that the best side is seen from the top. In other words, the way you are looking right now. Okay, now it's a little bit blotchy there, so put that side down. Okay, I think if I was to glue it like that, it would probably look pretty good. You know, it could be I might have to touch these spinners up. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a tiny little bit of CA medium. Now, here's hoping I can get it back in there. That looks about right. Okay, now we can do the other one. This is number 2, and it fits as well. Now I drop the propeller, Yeah, I think I got it back the same way. Okay, now the medium does give me a little bit of time to fool around here. Does that look like it's square to you? It looks pretty good. Now these aircraft have been my excuse to have not had to work on the railings. Something that I've sort of been putting off or dreading, you might say. No excuse now. These are about as done as I'm going to get them. But the only thing I can think of to kill a little bit of time here would be, why don't we put 2 or 3 of these on the, well, there is only 3. Why don't we put them on the deck and see what they look like mounted on the deck? And, and then we can see them in relationship to the superstructure. And I'd really like to see, how is this one going to look when it's sticking out of its aircraft hangar? Yeah, let's do that. Now, when you've been working on really small pieces like the aircraft, you soon forget just how big this model actually is, until you have to rearrange your table because the area that you had originally, set up for wasn't near big enough. Anyway, I think we got it in place here. Yeah. Well, I don't think we need to put an aircraft on the other side, because we'll put one here and we'll put one here. I'll just get my camera in place here, and we'll try and make it look as realistic as possible. Okay, very gently now. Is this going to fit? It should. Now I don't know how much of this we want to have sticking out. Well, let's see. I'm planning on putting the other aircraft right there on the cradle. Well, we'll make final adjustments later. Doesn't seem to want to fit very flat. I wonder if... Oh, I see what's happened. This thing here's broken off. I'm going to have to re-glue that. Okay, that's why that's falling in. Okay, I'll fix that. Okay, so if that's something like that, this could come out just a little more, because I would like to have the folding wings showing. I don't know if you can see it or not with the camera angled the way it is. Anyway, we get an idea of the relationship of size. Suddenly those aircraft look really small, don't they? And those propellers that I was meticulously painting, we can hardly see them. Oh, I did get that piece of dust, by the way. You know what? I think that's it for today, folks. So, thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.